How is it going, everybody? Today, I'm very excited to announce my guest. He's a three-time All-Conference linebacker, a Siena Heights alum, and an NFL and CFL prospect. Nick Stalworth, how are we doing today, brother?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for hopping on the show today.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Thanks for having me.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So first and foremost, we got to represent that hometown. So tell us a little about your hometown of Clarkston, Michigan. What makes it so unique?
I grew up in Clarkston, and it's kind of like a family atmosphere. It's a family time. I mean, it's like everybody knows everybody. It's not too big. It's not too small, and football brings the community together. So I mean, living in Clarkston, growing up in Clarkston, like all the football guys were pretty well known. But growing up there, like before that, I grew up actually in Pontiac, Michigan. I was born and raised there for a little bit before I moved to Clarkston. So I kind of got to claim both hometowns because they both made me who I am today, kind of deal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For sure. So tell us a little bit about your recruiting process out of high school and how you ended up at Siena Heights.
So my recruiting process, I came out and all these top tier division ones, like in the MAC, the American Conference, some Big Ten, they were like, "Oh, we love your skill set. We would love to have you. You're athletic. You possess every quality in a linebacker that we love, but you're just an inch too short." And it's like kind of ever since I heard that, I kind of like carry this boulder on my shoulder. It doesn't do it justice to call it a chip on my shoulder because I mean that just I just put all that in here, and I was like, okay, I'll show y'all. So it was one of those things where I was just like, wow, like why don't you guys just throw me the offer kind of deal? But after that, Division 1 AA, Division 2 started to contact me, and they pretty much said the same thing. You're athletic, we love to have you, but you're just an inch too short. So it was kind of one of those things where I'm just like, man, like, what's the deal? So I actually ended up playing down in the Blue Gray All American Bowl down in Texas, down at AT&T Stadium with like all these top tier guys, like Alabama commits, Penn State commits, Baylor commits, Oklahoma State, like you name the college. And I actually ended up finishing almost with 10 tackles. So I was like, okay, like I deserve to be on the field with these cats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So after that, like I just kind of proved to myself, like yeah, I deserve to be on the stage. So like a few days after my flight back, I got a call from Siena Heights, and Siena Heights offered me, and I was like, this is where I got to go to make things happen. And I've always heard the saying, if you're good enough, they'll find you. Like as far as like NFL guys, CFL guys. So I was like, this is the move I have to make in order to be seen.
Yeah, for sure. And that's definitely true. If you're good enough, they'll find you, bro. And
Yeah.
it definitely looked like you were good enough, bro. Three-time all conference. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. We'll see what happens. It's all part of the process.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So got to take us into like what a college football game day is like for you at Siena Heights. Obviously, like kind of just what time you get up, what do you have to do to prepare for a game? Like what do you do personally to trying to get ready, get in the mindset?
Yes. Oh, so our schedule normally like we gotta wake up at like probably like 6:30 because we got like a chapel service at 8. And then after that, kind of gotta go over the facility, get treatment on, get stretched out. You gotta do what you gotta do to get loose, get ready. And then we gotta go back on the field and stretch at 11:05, and that's when like kickoff starts at 12. But for me personally, like when I wake up, like I'm locked in. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to like I'm just quiet, like music in, like I just want to like kind of be like left alone, kind of be on stretch, do my own thing. And then once I step on the field, it's go, it's on go mode. It's grind time. So it's one of those things where like I don't want to like talk to anybody. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want anybody to bother me. I just like kind of in my own zone kind of deal. And then from there, I just do what I do.
Yeah, for sure. So what would your teammates say is your best quality?
I feel like my teammates would say that I'm somebody who leads by example and somebody who's a great leader on the field and off. I feel like that's my best quality or one of my best qualities as a leader is just leading by example. I can be that vocal guy at times, but I feel like my best quality is leading by example, running to the rock at all times. Just I mean, it's just stuff of that magnitude. Just showing it, like staying after practice, coming out before practice, like 15, 30 minutes early, just treating the whole situation like a professional athlete would. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you were a three-time all-conference linebacker at Siena Heights.
yep.
So what have you personally been doing to help you train for that transition to the professional level?
So I know back at home, I actually have. I'm fortunate enough to know Greg Jones. I consider him like a big brother. He played in the league for New York, Jacksonville, Tennessee. He was actually a CFL All Star. Played at Michigan State. Was like I think a 3 or 4 time All Conference, All American backer. But I'm fortunate enough to know him, and he trains me when I go back home. And I actually work with another guy back at home who has professional connects, and they get my game right. Along with I just work by myself as far as just like my drops and my footwork because I know me not being like the biggest linebacker, 6'3", like 6'3", 6'4", 250. I'm 6 foot 230, so I know my technique has to be great at all times. So I mean, the biggest thing with me is my ability to run from sideline to sideline and work on my feet and then getting in and out my drops fast. So that's what I primarily work on and who helps me.
Yeah, that's what's up. It's always nice to have a coach of that status for sure. Who's been
Oh
there,
yeah,
done that, you know?
oh
That's
yeah.
dope. That's what's up.
What's up?
So which NFL players do you try to model your play style after? So you can list a couple guys, obviously, but
Mm,
obviously, I mean, you have your own play style, but just kind of who have you watched tape on and film on that you try to take bits and pieces from?
right. So so in the past, like I watched like a film on a lot of guys. Like I look at past linebackers like Kuechly, Ray, and like current linebackers today. I look like Bobby Wagner, Fred Warner, Quan Alexander, Eric Kendricks because they are like in my exact same height and weight, and like Levante David, Devin White, Fred Warner. But I would say my playing style is like a Fred Warner and a Quan Alexander or Eric Kendricks type body. I feel like I have the ability to run from sideline to sideline. I can stay in on nickel packages, dime packages, and I can cover people as well. So I've also been looking at film on like Jamal Adams, Jeremy Chin, like Adrian Amos, like guys like that play that box safety because I feel like I'm versatile enough to play that. And I feel like the NFL teams, like I feel like I'm a versatile chess piece to do that and stay on the field. I can play the run as well as I can play the pass. And I feel like I said, I'm that versatile chess piece that can like has the ability to run from sideline to sideline, change direction. So
Yeah, and I was gonna say that too. I was gonna compare you to Quan Alexander as well. As a Saints fan, obviously, I saw a lot of Quan Alexander last year,
yeah.
so I was gonna say the same thing. All them scouts listening, y'all could have the next Quan Alexander.
Appreciate
All
that.
we gotta do is make a call. My boy's ready.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So, who is the best player you've ever played with and against? You can take it back to high school, little gritters, college. It doesn't matter. Who would you say is the best you played with and against?
Oh, the best player I played with is probably it's actually two people. My guy right now who plays middle linebacker, he's a year younger than me. His name is Cole Merlin. Dude is an absolute freak athlete, can run, can cover. Like he is just natural athlete. Like I love playing with alongside him because I know I can turn stuff back into him. He's gonna be there. And another guy, Trent Morrow, he actually plays safety. He was an All-American last year. Dude is an absolute zone hawk. I mean, anything in the air, he's an absolute ball hawk, and he can play the run as well. I mean, those are two of the best guys that I've honestly ever played with. Now, I played against a guy, played against our rival school, Concordia University. Dude was a tailback. They actually got a stint with the Kansas City Chiefs practice roster, and I think the Detroit Lions practice roster. And I think now he's trying to go to the XFL, but his name was Joe Connor. Talk about the perfect size with combination of speed, power. Like he catch out the backfield, the kid could do it all. I mean, you didn't know what he was going to do. You didn't know if he was going to blow past you, run you over. Like he was a great combination of size and speed. And then another guy, tight end out of Marion University, Brandon Dillon. He was 6'6", 250, could run. I mean, anything within his catch radius. I mean, he was grabbing. I think he's actually on the active roster for the Minnesota Vikings. I think. So I mean, he was a mismatch nightmare to go against in the slot. But I mean, I felt like we handled him well. But those are two of the best players that I've like played against for sure.
That's what's up. So, tell us about a time when you were able to overcome some adversity.
Sure. Time that I was able to overcome some adversity. I feel like going into my freshman year, because I've been a starter my whole life. And I mean, going into college, I mean, you're a young kid, you're 18, 17, however old you are going into college, and you got to take a back seat. So thankfully, my father played college ball, and he was like, "Don't be discouraged if you get a red shirt year, because you got to take in mind you're playing with grown men at this point." And I was like, "Yeah, that's true." So going in, like I was like last on the depth chart, and I was prepared for that. He told me that, but it was one of those things where I'm just like, yeah, like I got to work for this, like no doubt about it. So worked for it at the end of the day, and I ended up being number two on the depth chart by the end of camp. And then by the second game, the starter got hurt. I came in, and from there, the rest was history. So it was one of those things where it was a test. It was a test to see like kind of like how bad I wanted it. I mean, thankfully, I thank God that 3 years later, I'm a three-time all-conference backer and shooting for a fourth. But I mean, I'm just blessed to be in this position.
Yeah, for sure. So, what kind of things aside from football do you enjoy doing?
Sure. Every chance I get to kick my feet up and relax, like watch movie shows, like that's what I love to do. Like I can watch Power Ballers, Empire, like Avengers, Training Day. Like I could watch all type of shows, movies, like Bad Boys, whatever. But like every time I get a chance to kick my feet up and relax, cause get away from football training, like that's what I like to do.
Yeah, that's what's up. Um, so what do you feel like is your biggest strength that you could bring to an NFL roster?
I feel like the biggest strength, in my opinion, is my versatility. I feel like like I said earlier, I can run from sideline to sideline. I can play all three linebacker positions, and I can potentially play a box safety. I feel like teams now look at versatility now, and the more you can do, the better you are, kind of deal. So I feel like I can bring to a team that versatility and my ability to stay in on third downs and nickel packages, dime packages, as well as be able to cover people and fill a run. I feel like that separates me from other people in the draft class and future draft classes.
Yeah, for sure. One last question for you, Nick. What kind of
Yeah.
advice can you give to the young athletes out there in the same shoes as you trying to chase their NFL dreams?
So I would tell them, because nowadays people have the mindset of, oh, I got to go D1 or bust, and it doesn't matter if you're D1 AA, D2, D3, NAI. It doesn't matter. If you are good enough, they will find you. And I am just living proof of that. And I'm just blessed to be in this position. So I would tell that kid, don't hang your head because you're not top tier Division 1. Like, do not hang your head, because the statement holds true. If you are good enough, they will find you. And that is such a true statement.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Stalworth, a three-time all-conference linebacker from Siena Heights University. He's looking to go into the NFL, CFL here very, very soon. I appreciate you for hopping on the show today, my boy.
I appreciate you, my boy.
Yes, sir.